Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me real close. Your life won't change until you do. You can hope, you can wish, you can pray all day long. But if you don't step up and make a move, nothing's going to happen. Your life won't change until you do. That's the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. Too many people are sitting around, but life doesn't work that way. Nothing changes until you make a decision to change. You can't keep doing the same things, thinking the same thoughts, hanging around the same people, and expect a different outcome. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Some folks blame their circumstances, their past, or even other people for where they are. But at some point, you have to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. If you're not where you want to be, it's because you haven't done what's necessary to get there. It's not about luck, it's about action. The people who succeed in life aren't just the lucky ones. They're the ones who made a choice to do something different. They got tired of being broke, tired of struggling, tired of being overlooked, and instead of complaining, they made a move. Change requires effort. It requires discipline. It requires letting go of excuses. The moment you decide that where you are is no longer acceptable, that's when transformation begins. But you can't just talk about it, you have to be about it. Words mean nothing without action. You say you want a better life, prove it. Change your habits, change your mindset, change how you spend your time. Because until you do, life will keep handing you the same results. Success doesn't come to the lazy or the complainers. It doesn't come to the people who sit around waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect circumstances. It comes to the ones who get up and make something happen, no matter what's in front of them. Too many people talk about what they want, but they're not willing to put in the work to get it. They dream big, but when it's time to wake up and grind, they find excuses instead. Laziness is a dream killer. It convinces you that you have more time than you actually do. It tells you that tomorrow is a better day to start. It tricks you into believing that effort is optional when in reality, effort is the price of success. Every successful person you admire had to put in work. They had to make sacrifices. They had to push through obstacles, but they didn't sit back and wait. They went after it. They understood that success doesn't knock on your door. You have to go out and chase it down. Then there are the complainers. The people who always have a reason why things aren't working out for them. They blame their boss, the economy, their childhood, their bad luck, everything except themselves. But complaining has never changed the situation. Complaining doesn't pay bills. Complaining doesn't open doors. The energy you spend whining about what's wrong could be used to fix it. Winners don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. When they fail, they learn. When they get knocked down, they get back up. They take responsibility for their lives because they understand that nobody is coming to save them. The truth is, nobody owes you anything. If you want success, you have to earn it. That means getting up earlier, working harder, staying focused, and refusing to quit when things get tough. The people who make it aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who refuse to stay down when life hit them. You can't stay the same and expect different results. That's the hard truth that most people don't want to hear. They want life to change, but they don't want to change themselves. They want more money, but they don't want to change their spending habits or develop new skills. They want a better relationship, but they don't want to work on their communication or let go of toxic patterns. They want success, but they're not willing to step outside their comfort zone and take risks. Growth requires change, and change is uncomfortable. That's why so many people stay stuck in the same place year after year. They say they want better, but when the opportunity to grow presents itself, they hesitate. They get scared. They start making excuses about why it's not the right time, why they're not ready, why they'll try again later. But later turns into never, and they wake up one day realizing that nothing in their life is different because they refuse to be different. The truth is, life will only give you what you're willing to work for. If you want something new, you have to become someone new. You have to let go of old habits, old mindsets, and sometimes even old relationships that are holding you back. You can't keep thinking the way you've always thought and expect to reach new levels. You can't keep doing the same things and expect to get ahead. Change starts with small, consistent actions. Reading more, learning more, surrounding yourself with people who challenge you instead of keeping you comfortable. Too often, people wait for motivation to strike before they take action. But motivation is temporary. Discipline is what makes the difference. You have to decide that you're done settling. You have to commit to the process even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient. Because if you don't change, nothing else will. Upgrade your mindset, skills, and circle. Everything you want in life starts with the way you think. Your mindset shapes your actions, your decisions, and ultimately your results. If you believe you're stuck, you'll stay stuck. If you believe you're not capable, you won't even try. But if you shift your thinking, if you start believing that you are capable, that you are worthy, that success is possible for you, then you'll start making different choices. Your skills determine your value in the world. Too many people want more money, but they don't want to put in the effort to become more valuable. They want opportunities, but they're not willing to develop the skills necessary to take advantage of them. The truth is, the world doesn't pay you for what you want, it pays you for what you bring to the table. If you want to earn more, grow more, and achieve more, you have to constantly be learning. Read books, take courses, find mentors, invest in yourself because nobody else is going to do it for you. Then there's your circle. The people you surround yourself with will either push you forward or hold you back. If you're constantly around negative people who complain, make excuses, and have no ambition, guess what? That energy is going to rub off on you. But if you're around winners, people who challenge themselves, who work hard, who think bigger, you're going to start thinking and acting differently. Look at the 5 closest people in your life. Are they pushing you to be better, or are they keeping you comfortable in the same place? If you want to grow, you have to surround yourself with people who inspire you. Sometimes that means outgrowing old friendships. Sometimes that means distancing yourself from family members who don't support your vision. It's not about being rude, it's about protecting your future. Let go of old habits and baggage. One of the biggest reasons people stay stuck is because they refuse to release the things that no longer serve them. They hold on to bad habits, toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, and past failures as if those things define who they are. But you can't move forward while dragging the weight of your past behind you. If you want to step into a new level in life, you have to be willing to let go of what's holding you back. Old habits are comfortable, but they are also dangerous. The way you spend your time, the way you react to challenges, the way you handle money, all of these habits shape your reality. If your current habits are not leading you to the life you want, then it's time to replace them with better ones. Waking up late, procrastinating, making excuses, spending money recklessly. These are the types of habits that will keep you in the same cycle year after year. Success isn't built on what you do occasionally. It's built on what you do consistently. Then there's the emotional baggage. Resentment, regret, anger, self-doubt. Carrying those things around only weighs you down. You can't change what happened in the past, but you can change how you let it affect you. Forgive people not for their sake, but for yours. Let go of the mistakes you've made and learn from them instead of letting them define you. Stop replaying old failures in your mind as if they determine your future. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Some people hold on to relationships that no longer align with their growth. They keep friends who discourage them, stay in circles that don't push them, and entertain people who drain their energy. Growth requires making hard choices. You have to decide what's more important, keeping everyone comfortable or stepping into the life you were meant to have. Not everyone can go with you to the next level, and that's okay. Letting go isn't always easy, but neither is staying stuck. Get up, do the work, and transform your life. Too many people sit around waiting for something to change, but nothing changes until you take action. Wishing, hoping, and talking about your goals won't get you there. Only work will. The people who succeed in life aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones who show up every single day and put in the effort, even when they don't feel like it. There will always be an excuse to wait. You'll tell yourself you're too tired, too busy, not ready, or that you'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow turns into next week, next month, and next year, and before you know it, nothing has changed. Success isn't about motivation, it's about discipline. You have to train yourself to take action regardless of how you feel. You can't afford to wait for the perfect moment because the perfect moment doesn't exist. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. You might not be the most experienced, the most connected, or the most gifted, but if you're willing to outwork everyone else, you can still win. The grind is what separates those who succeed from those who settle. It's about making sacrifices, staying focused, and pushing through when others quit. There are going to be days when it feels like nothing is happening, but consistency compounds over time. Most people stop at the first sign of difficulty. They hit a roadblock, face rejection, or experience failure, and they give up. But setbacks are part of the process. The difference between winners and losers is that winners don't quit. They learn, they adjust, and they keep going. The only way to guarantee failure is to stop trying. Everything you want is on the other side of effort. You have to be willing to fight for it. You have to believe in yourself enough to put in the work, even when no one is watching. The moment you decide to stop making excuses and start taking action, that's when everything changes.